Welcome back to the Youth Academy Road to Glory transfer window done and dusted and new players in. Not only that, we've started the season very well. We find ourselves with a 100% record in the opening 2 games of the Premier League so far, with a 2-1 win against Arsenal and a 1-0 narrow margin of victory over Watford. Today, we've Brentford, Manchester United, Juventus in the Champions League, Newcastle and Fulham. So we'll probably play the 3 middle ones and sim those either side of it. It's going to be a particularly busy season, but one that we are hoping, planning, aiming, dreaming of winning every single competition that we're involved in this season. Maresh is the latest signing to join the club. He comes in as a CDM and centre-back, and we're going to train him right here, right now, as a centre-back, because he's going to be able to be utilised in a number of different roles for us. He has potential to be special as well, which we weren't even aware of. Let's go! Yes, Guilherme. I didn't even know he had potential to be special. That's an added bonus. That's fantastic. Right then. Well, let's not waste any time. Let's jump in and sim against Brentford. As ever, please do drop the video a like if you're enjoying. I'd very much appreciate it. It really helps the content and me as a creator and the channel as a whole. And hopefully we can earn your like and subscription by picking up as many points as possible today, domestically and back in the Champions League. Goal from range. Lenny Stevens with his first goal for the club to give us a 1-0 lead down at the G-Tech Community Stadium. We are in front again. Thank you. We get the single goal to nil victory thanks to Lenny Stevens' early effort. We did hit the woodwork in that game as well through Alex Fleming. We get the dub. Most importantly, Champions League is back. Salihovic is up to 85, but has now peaked there. So we don't need to be too concerned about that. Ben Jack is now up to 88, and he has peaked there. But let's be honest, at 85 and 88, and with the effect they have on the starting lineup, they don't need to get any higher rated. Manchester United. James Ambrose in goal for them at 91 rated. Alvaro Fernandez, Zabani, Bastoni and Balde. New signing Bentancur adds to their midfield, with the front 3 looking as strong as it ever has done. Bentancur, 86 rated. We saw him sign in the last episode where we went through everything on transfer deadline day. One of the smaller deals at like £56 million or something silly. But he's definitely got quality, but so do we. And their defence has a couple of weaker spots in it. So we're going to try and press on those weak points. And hopefully, get a good result here at home. We are unbeaten so far this season. We've won every game we've played so far this season. But will that continue? I love that. Can't take a touch that heavy in front of someone as good as Ben Jack and expect it not to get picked off. Anthony. It's Lenny Stevens. Great goal for him against Brentford. Brilliant finish from outside the box. Not seen that in his game so far in the played games with him, but certainly it's something I might look to utilise a little bit more if he does have banging long shots. I need to actually check his stats and see what his long shot stat is, because if he does have cracking long shots, we will look to utilise that. His long shots are only 74, 75 with a bit of a boost, so he's not a worldie with the ball at his feet from range, but certainly he was able to get a fantastic shot away against Brentford that ended up being the match winner. Talk about sensational shots. Julian Alvarez with the overhead kick from the corner that very nearly gives Manchester United a 1-0 lead. Salah into Patrick Guy. Edwards making the burst and getting away from the challenge. And the support from Salah. There's many in the middle to aim for, including young Fleming. Lenny Stevens again hit a hand, but it won't come of anything. All games have been pretty close so far this season, haven't they? We've won every game, but it's only been by a single goal. A 2-1 win. And then a number of single goal to nil victories have kept us ticking over with victories in every competition thus far. But will we be able to do it here in the Premier League today? On the first half's evidence, no, probably not. Salah, use the overlap. Go to Guy. Which way do we go? Which way do we go? Salihovic in a good position. If he can hold off the defender and get the shot off on his left foot, which he has done well, then maybe we could score that first goal of the game. Lovely take by Fleming. Lenny Stevens is here. Patrick Guy. Can see how United closed down the space. Those three central midfielders just blocking up any passing avenues in the middle. So, just try and score a worldie. Nearly knocked out Zabani there. Lenny Stevens, can we go for a 1-2? No. Here's Alex Fleming. He'll try and spin Zabani. Good movement. Oh, Patrick Guy made a great run. But I just couldn't find the gap to get it to him. We're not conceding many goals so far this season, but we're not scoring many either. The challenge for scoring 100 Premier League goals this year in the fan objectives would be particularly tough, even if we'd won every opening game by 3-0. At the minute, a 2-1 win and 2 1-0 wins mean that we are very much going to be needing to score a hell of a lot of goals at the end of the season as we go on, if we're to get that. In a minute, though, I think we're more likely of scoring 100 goals than we are getting 100 points. It's going to be a very competitive Premier League season, as it always tends to be in career mode. More competitive than real life at times, for sure. Romero looking inside for Edwards. Zabani didn't narrow up as I thought he might. 20 minutes to go. Still no breakthrough. But maybe now. Maybe now. Not if James Ambrose has anything to say about it. Close for Salihovic. But no. Franciscu's up. But no. And Fernandez will clear. Alvarez. Bentancur. Pedri. Nice ball out wide towards Nonto. It's not a foul. Play continues. Bruno Guimaraes off the bench for them here. No, Bruno started, didn't he? Bentancur, shot saved. And that will seal a point for both teams and not all three for Manchester United. Thank you, Ruben. A 0-0 draw. We are not conceding many at all so far this year. Maybe we should have gone for minimum goals conceded rather than loads of goals scored for the fan objective. 7 efforts for us, but none could find their way past James Ambrose. That's the first time this season we haven't won a game, but we are still unbeaten, although we do have Juventus next. Juventus with Luis Maximiano in goal. They're playing a 3-back with the player that we looked at, Morrow, in the middle of it, and you'll notice a certain Rodri Lawrence on the right-hand side for them. He was terrible for me. We sold him, and he's turned out quite good in the end, actually, with some growth. Dusan Vlahovic up top for them at 91 rated is rather understandably going to be pretty difficult to play against. Mateus Cunha is alongside him. Koren starts in goal for us as our cup goalkeeper. Nacho Salinas gets the start in the Champions League up top as well. A couple of other minimal changes, but we are still pretty damned strong. Moraes gets his first start at centre-back. Our new giant, number 14. Gravenberg. Oh, what a ball. Mateus Cunha's in. Navarrete's in the way. Navarrete was the man that had dropped unnecessarily deep to play him onside in the first place. But I'm glad that he was actually able to get the tackle in. Otherwise, I would have been, understandably, livid with him. Guy will look for Leao down the line. And De Silva will cut this back. No, he won't. Brahim will get a tackle. And he's been solid for Juventus in FIFA this year. Really difficult defender to play against. Stevens looking for Nacho. Fouled, maybe. I tell you what, this is tough against Juventus. They've rocked up in stereotypical Italian defensive style and are bossing me in every area of the pitch right now. Nice ball inside. Cunha. Oh, Pabega's done me with a turn. Koren's in the way, and Franciscu. Right place, right time to stop Dusan Vlahovic, putting it into an empty net. I wonder if there'll be any boos or people throwing abuse at Rodri Lawrence as a returning player. Was it Lawrence that... We had one player that just could not score. That wasn't Rodri Lawrence, was it? I think it was Kennedy. Rory Kennedy, I think, is the name that has just flashed into the forefront of my mind as the player that had a 5-star weak foot and had plenty of really great goal-scoring opportunities, but became a bit of a meme because he couldn't score. I think it was Rory Kennedy. Fleming's in the box here, trying to tuck this back for Salinas, but this Juventus backline refused to be cut apart. I don't know as I've really tested the goalkeeper even once in this game so far. It's been build up, lose the ball, Juve counter-attack, they potentially have a chance, and then we win it back again. corner for Juventus at the end of this first half in the Champions League in a really tightly contested tie, just like the Manchester United one. Franciscu's having to do a lot of defending. Koren so far keeping a clean sheet on his debut too. And well, it will be 0-0 at the break. And again, so tough in this 8th season to get victories and to score goals. But we're staying unbeaten. But there is still, even though we are one of the best sides in the competition, both Europe and Premier League, there evidently is still a challenge to this save. And we are behind now. Mateus Cunha scores, Koren concedes, and we trail to arguably the group favourites. Out to Ramon Navarrete. It's an initial nice turn. There might be some space here for Edwards, and then looking for Fleming, who's beaten his man. Alex Fleming in the box. Alex Fleming, good save by the keeper. Nacho tries to keep it alive, but in doing so, gives Juve a goal kick. That's the one chance we've been waiting for. And Pabega even. And Federico Chiesa. Pabega again. Salisu in the way. Pabega again. I don't know why I said Salisu. It was Francisco. Pabega buries it in the top corner. And the fan objective that was be undefeated in all home games in the Champions League looks like it's going to be failed at the first attempt. Juventus very good here. And there's quite evidently a difference between the top end of the Premier League and the top end of European football. The Champions League is going to be much more difficult to win than the Prem was last year. Nice block by Guy. Salahovic could have been on his bike. He wasn't. Still played in. Here comes Edwards. And Fleming's going to make that run around the corner. Alex Fleming's come the closest for us so far. And now does find the back of the net. A brilliant goal. Go and pick it up, sir. We've 15 minutes to find one more. The Champions League is back at Patreon Park. And we might just have a comeback to go with it. There's definitely another goal in this, but whether it's for us or them at the minute, I don't know as anyone could really say. Francisco goes up, doesn't foul the man despite the acrobatic fall that hit Gravenbercher's hand, and will have the free kick. 8 minutes to go as they make a change. I'm not going to make any more of my own at this stage. Goretzka on for Sunset. So a little bit of a midfield enforcer in these final stages. Try and help Juve hold on to the lead that they've got. Guy finds Edwards. Out wide is Leao da Silva. In there again is Edwards, but Goretzka is in the way. Vega over the top. Oh, Chiesa. What power on that header. Mateus Cunha has Vlahovic with him. I'm worried about him playing the pass. You know what? Let's give it a pen. I just stood there. I literally just stood there. And he's run into me after he's taken his shot. That is one of the softest penalties you are likely to see this season. Vlahovic down the middle. 3-1 Juve. We will lose on the opening day of the Champions League this season. Salahovic. Fleming is tucking central quite a bit, you know. Not asked him to do that. That's what he's taken it upon himself to do. And of course, we do score a second goal. Salahovic back on the score sheet. We don't concede in ages, but we can't score, so we draw 0-0. And now we're scoring goals, but we're also conceding them. Is there anything more frustrating than that? Vlahovic's soft penalty is going to be the only difference between the two sides on the opening day of the Champions League. And we will lose at home by 3-2. But a game that looked like it was just going to peter out into another 0-0 draw, in the end, throws 5 goals at us late in the day. So there's definitely some entertainment to be had from that. We had to wait until almost the hour mark for the first goal, and then it just didn't stop coming. Juve probably deserved winners despite the soft penalty, but disappointing to lose given the fact that we were able to put the ball in the back of the net a couple of times. Okay, up next for us then, Newcastle. And hopefully this time we can score and not concede. Newcastle United with Will Hillier between the sticks. Mazraoui, Sagnon, Bolton and Roth at the back. Fratesi, Moretti and Thuram in the midfield. That's quite scary. Manu Tutain and Noni Madueke and Ousmane Keita up top. An 89 rated regen, we presume, although we haven't checked to see who of. Of course, Rafael, I keep saying Rafael, is Leao da Silva's first game against his former team. He played in that centre-forward spot for Newcastle. We've moved him to a winger, and they have very adequately indeed, seemingly replaced him. 88 rated as he was at the time. Leao da Silva for 89 rated Keita. We'll have a look after the game to see who he's a potential regen of, but hopefully we can keep him quiet, and hopefully Leao da Silva can turn up against his former team. And Salihovic is played in, and we're 1-0 up. Salihovic gives us an early 1-0 lead. That was a lot easier than Manchester United or Juventus, wasn't it? Thank you, Salihovic, keeping his tally ticking over. Forward to Fleming and Edwards, and it could open for Salihovic again if Sanyo hadn't put in a brilliant interception. He's Noni Madueke. He's run straight into Patrick Guy. Rephrase, he's run straight through Patrick Guy. Keita's got to be offside there. I'm certain of it. It's a good save by Richardson, and apparently he was on. That must have been really tight, or someone I didn't quite see played him on. Richardson again, throwing himself in front of a Newcastle United man to deny them the equalising goal. Manu Suchena will take it short. 2 Patreon players playing for Newcastle today again. Manu's been here from Leeds for a while now, and Salihovic has the room to get into here from the corner. Just take your time, Faris, and bury it. Good lad. Now he's back to a goal a game average in the Premier League. Faris Salihovic makes it 2. Mazraoui down the line to Manu Suchena. Bounced off and delivered in. Oh! Reactions. Richardson does brilliantly to deny Keita at the near post. Keita's come close twice now. This could quite comfortably be 2-2 if it weren't for the goalkeeper between the sticks. Moretti to Madueke. Dinked in. Won well by Keita again. He seems to be an absolute monster, doesn't he? But he can't score yet. Hopefully we'll keep him quiet for the rest of the game. Well, maybe not keep him quiet, but keep him out at the very least, because certainly he's not going to be kept quiet, judging by this. Could we maybe get Salihovic the first hat-trick of the season? One of the objectives for the fans was to get a hat-trick in every competition this season. We might have an early chance here with Salihovic to maybe get the first of those 4. But not yet. We might be 2-0 up, but I'm not comfortable at all. Or even anywhere near it. Suchena! Good save by Richardson, leaping away to his left-hand side. Other than our 2 goals, all Newcastle in this game so far. Fleming, he keeps tucking narrow. I've not changed his instructions, Fleming, but he does keep doing that. That's a poor ball. Maybe I should have gone solo, trying to force it to Salihovic to try and get the hat-trick. No mistake from Will in goal. Does well to get rid of that, and Leao can't find a teammate. You play in red now, mate, not in the black and white stripes. Don't know whether you noticed. Rafael. Oh, I'm going to have to change his name to bloody Rafael. Please excuse me for calling Leao da Silva Rafael every single time he's in possession or we talk about him. For some reason, my brain cannot get over the fact that he's called Leao da Silva. Leao's his first name, not his surname. My brain does not do well in situations like that, does it? Certainly not the first player we keep continually mispronouncing or misnaming. I apologise. Blame my ME and my brain fog. Kefren Turan trying to burst through my midfield line, but we're trying not to let them. Can always just go round it. Noni Madueke with the fancy flick that doesn't come off, though. There's a bit of a press starting to come here from Newcastle, though, you might have noticed. I'd rather not commit defenders too far forward in the situation we are. Tell you what, it's opened up a little bit for Fleming. Salihovic is in. Can he get that hat-trick? No. Brilliant save by Will. Top stop from the goalkeeper. No hat-trick yet. Maybe no hat-trick at all. Da Costa, Francisco. Oh, it's gone in as an own goal. The keeper's saved it. Will gets no luck in goal for Newcastle against me. We had a game last season or the season before where rebounds just bounced off him and we were able to tuck him home. Here he's made another very, very good save, but it's been knocked in by his man on the line. Not sure if it went over the line before it hit the defender or whether it cannoned off the defender and then went in. It was the defender trying to take a touch for some reason towards his own goal. Unfortunately for Newcastle and Matteo Fratesi, or is it Davide Fratesi? Can't remember. Fratesi, he's conceded an own goal and we're 3-0 up. Does that count as a goal for us in our total goals tally? I hope so. Does it? Does an own goal count if we win by 3? I mean, it counts towards... It's got to count towards my goal difference, etc. So, surely that counts for goals scored? Or do we not count own goals and it's only goals scored by my players that count? I'll let you guys in the comment section decide that, but my preference would be for own goals to count, considering it's so bloody difficult to get 100 goals as is. I think we could probably do with the help. We might even be scoring another here if we can send Leao da Silva in, which we have done against his former team. Another good save by the goalkeeper, and this time it doesn't bounce off someone else and go into his own net. And at 3-0 with 8 minutes left, we can try and shoehorn it towards Salihovic. Although Rafael Leao is in here, and against his former team, he failed earlier. Oh, that's a very, very, very heavy touch. Keeper's coming, he can't get there, but Leao misses the target. Very nearly jeers around the ground as changes are made now. Salihovic still on the field, trying to get him that hat-trick, but nobody was going to catch up to Rafael Leao. It's not Rafael Leao! To Leao da Silva there. Can I just nickname him Rafa, please? He's called Leao da Silva. He's a regen of Rafa from Benfica. I think I just want to nickname him Rafael. I think I am going to nickname him Rafael. I'm sorry, because I quite clearly can't stop the slip of the tongue. Into Keita and Trincao, looking for the ball through, but Richardson comes to get it. It's going to be 3-0 here against Newcastle. No hat-trick for Salihovic, but he continues his hunt for the golden boot. And, of course, the record. Maybe a hat-trick for Salihovic. Go on, Faris! Go on, Faris! Go on, Faris! Yes! Hat-trick! 4 on the day, 3 for him, and 1 put in the back of their own net. Let's go! Salihovic lifts it. Leao could get there. He doesn't get the opportunity to because the referee blows his whistle. That is a 4-0 away from home win and a hat-trick for the big man. Salihovic delighted to grab the match ball. That'll do very nicely. A lot of the fans in the top tier have disappeared already. Even the away fans not sticking around to celebrate the victory too much. To be fair, it's a pretty hefty drive home from Newcastle to anywhere in the country. But about 2.5 hours, I think, to Nottingham. If I remember correctly from doing it with Cambridge a couple of years ago. Yes, we'll mention that game again. Cambridge United 1, Newcastle United 0. Way! We'll dine on that for a little bit longer. Salihovic's hat-trick, and now he's going to have the opportunity to hopefully do so again, this time against Burnley. Recently promoted Burnley, recently having signed a player from Real Madrid Burnley, who isn't in their starting lineup. Is that Antonio Silva, I think? Is that Jacek Wilk? They've got Wilk. I think it might be. We're 1-0 up through Leao da Silva. I think that might be Jacek Wilk in their front line up top. Former AFC man. Now lining up for Burnley and now losing with Burnley. Although they did nearly score a great equaliser there. That is total football. Salihovic does it again and we're in front by 2. Twitter's died, has it? Goal! Salihovic adds another. Maybe he's going to get back-to-back hat-tricks. Who knows? Twitter apparently has just died, according to my Twitch feed. That happened just as Salihovic put the ball in the back of the net. 4. Now Alex Fleming's getting in on the act. Maybe the 100 goals isn't such a pipe dream. With 4 against Newcastle and now 4 in the first half against Burnley, we apparently need to average 2.63, I think it was, goals per game. And after a 0-0 and a couple of 1-0s, to now get 8 goals in 2 games, 1.5 games, there still could be more in this, we might be on track, you know. 5, it is back-to-back hat-tricks for Faris Salihovic. He was unbelievable against Newcastle. And, well, he's only gone and done it again. He scored a 4th. He scored a 4th. He scored a 4th. It's 6-0. He's beaten the man brilliantly and still battling hard, earning another corner in the 90th minute. I genuinely thought this was a Premier League tie, but quite rightly pointed out on my live chat, I wasn't paying too much attention when we went into the game. It is a Carabao Cup game, and it's also 7 as Fleming adds another. So that is 2 hat-tricks in 2 competitions in back-to-back games for Salihovic. That's our biggest win of the save, I think, with 7 goals. Certainly our biggest win at Premier League level since we got here. And Fulham to be simmed as well at the end of the month. Bid from Valencia for Ruben Richardson, which we will reject. Board rescheduling that game. Oh my lord. I can't quite believe it. The game against Burnley. I don't recall the game against Burnley actually being there. That must have been drawn. That must have been drawn during the month, and I didn't even notice, because now we're going to sim against Fulham and try and get another victory. Ousmane Keita is a regen of Sadio Mane. Interestingly, Vincent Kompany and Andreas Christensen and Roberto Carlos all born on April 10th as well. So we now know who he is. We got our... Well, to be fair, for Leao da Silva to grow as much as he has as a Rafa regen is outrageous. For Keita to grow as far as he has, you would imagine that is correct. But let's go and sim this game against Fulham then and see if we can't go and score another hatful of goals. Salihovic, over to you. Salihovic is in, squares it. Edwards 1-0. He might not be scoring them, but he's damn well setting them up. We lead by 1-0. They've equalised. Andre Silva puts the ball in the back of the net for Fulham, and they're back on level terms. Right at the death, last kick of the half, but only their second shot of the game. Not having it all our way this time. We're in. Fleming's done brilliantly. Oh, it's ball free. Cleared off the line. I don't quite know how that goal came about. I couldn't explain that to you. Keeper goes walkabouts. The ball's pinballing around. Cleared off the line and then squared to Fleming to tuck into a quite literally empty net. And we lead by 2-1 late on. And we might just have sealed another Premier League victory here. We should have done with that ball cleared away and stoppage time. We might even add a third. Leao in the box. Squared. Edwards misses the target inexplicably. 13 shots created. We lead by 2-1. We win by 2-1. Bournemouth 4, Manchester City 3, by the way. Up next at the beginning of the episode tomorrow. Actually, in 2 days' time. I apologise. I am away at the moment as you see this. We continue on in the Champions League after defeat to Juventus today. We hope to rectify that against Dinamo Kiev. And we are top of the Premier League with 10 goals scored in 6 games. Not yet at the level that we need to be to get 100 goals, but we'll try everything we possibly can to do so. That's all for today's episode. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Goals everywhere today. We've gone from drawing 0-0 and winning 1-0 and barely being able to score to then going 2-4-7. Okay. Fair enough. Well, we go again in the next episode. Appreciate your support, lads. I think that particular episode deserves a like, don't you? I shall see you next time.